Ismail just in na mfuko kidogo, mabega kidogo. I think now our audience, yes, they have done. Can we appreciate them? Because we are in an innovation function, and I want to teach you how to clap, so that when we appreciate them, we can always appreciate them in style. So, if I say Nyayo, you clap 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, pop. If I say digital, and if I say parliament, stop, stop, stop. I join the Nyayo. Digital. Parliament. Nyayo. Digital. Parliament. This is because the county government is represented, the national government is represented, so parliament is also represented. And then Nyayo, you know, elders here, the period of Nyayo, Moi, and others. They also have to remember how we used to clap during Moi's time. And then we have digital, younger ones, who are now using Nyayo. Digital. Parliament. Digital. Parliament. Thank you. Welcome. So, yes. Now the university is a powerful one. We were thanking the guests and the choir. Now for the university, the guests, the new wetlands, Parliament, colors, blue, wonderful. Yeah, thank you. Now we are open up to start the innovation thing. Now we are moving to the program, continuing with our program. I now welcome, before I welcome, I say all our guests here, plus all other invited guests, you are all recognized. All our partners, you are all recognized. Since you are many, I said I, so that we move to the program, and I welcome the CEO, Unleash African Economies, Mr. Shadrach Kioko, so that he can usher in the Dr. Susan Musyoka, who is the Executive Chair Lady of Unleash African Economies, one of our key partners in sponsoring this program, who will then introduce the organizing committee for this function and make her remarks before we move on to the next. So thank you very much. Welcome.
Please and morning. Good morning. God is good and all the time. Mine is just a very quick introduction. Our executive chairperson, Unleash African Economies, Honorable Dr. Susan Musyoka, to come and introduce the team. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Before we continue, I want to ask Juliet, before we have the chief guest, their traditional dancers, please bring them around so that we have one number. So my task is to introduce the partners, unleash Africa economies and the partners that we have that sat down and thought and planned for this event. I will start with Unleash Africa Economy. Please be standing. Be upstanding. You are a double. Okay, why don't you come forward, please?
You can share the link.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Mungu ni mwema. Kila wakati. Yangu naitwa Mtasa Kitu. Unleash African economies and your vice chairman of the finance. Thank you.
Okay, good morning. Yeah, my name is Chandra Kioko. I'm the CEO of Unleash African Economies. Karibuni sana.
And I'm Juliet Wamiri. I'm in charge of marketing for Unleash African Economies.
My name is Amanthi Musyoka, one of the country coordinators, Unleash Africa Economies.
Thank you very much. We have others who are outside in the exhibition, and the market person have been doing the registration out there. My name is Dr. Susan Musyoka. Sometimes they call me for sure, but I'm happy to be here. I'm a medical doctor, and I've been in politics. And politics ilinishanua sana. But I'm very restless, sitting down, not doing much. So, to our chief guest, the Chancellor, Dr. James Moria, the Chairman of the Council, Dr. Christopher Gatama, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Joyce Agalo, the CEC, Waziri Sharon Mutua, and all protocols observed. Mine is just to welcome you all to this event. And before I welcome you to the event, I want to introduce our partners. The university members who we worked together in this planning of this exercise. Please be upstanding.
You know,
Get the mic and we had our whole battery of professors working with us and helping us in the organization. Why don't you come forward, please? As they come, I want to thank the university administration for allowing us to carry out this exercise here and for giving us, they are very patient with us throughout.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm Professor David Muno. I'm the acting registrar of research in the University of Kenya. And in this conference, I am the project manager. We have our coordinator, Professor Peter Mwisa, who could not be with us because of the emergency. Apologies, but we have. Thank you.
Professor Henry Mbeyu attended from the School of Education, Machakos University. I was a member of the committee that was organizing. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Lilian Koroi. I was in the organizing committee. I come from Machakos University.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mobi Mwihuri, Head Legal Affairs and Council Secretary. I was in the organizing committee. Karibuni sana.
I'm Dr. Michael Musembi, a member of the committee.
Thank you and welcome. This is Professor Rasa from the School of Business, Machakos University, a member of the committee.
Good morning. Mugendi Mtwaridha, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Administration, Planning and Finance, a member of the committee as well.
Good morning. My name is Professor James Mwala, acting Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and Student Affairs, working in this committee. Welcome to Machakos University.
Good morning. Professor John Sagwata, the Director, Research, Innovation and Technology Transfer, a member of this committee. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The other team is a strong team from the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Please come forward.
Miriam, RD, najua nakuwa na makoti mawili. Good morning, everyone. My name is Danson Kitunga. I am the Chairman, Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the Machakos County Chapter. And most welcome to this event, Trend Expo 23. With me are members from the Chamber, but because of seniority issues, I would wish to hand over the microphone to our Regional Director, Mr. Joseph Kithu, who is on my left, immediate left, so that he can talk briefly. But before I do so, I would want to give this opportunity to my CEO, and so that she can introduce herself. In our absence, we have we have one of us who is not present with us here, Dr. Kelonzo, who is a director. He was very actively involved in this event, and probably is on his way coming back. So Miriam, CEO, please kindly, can you take the microphone and introduce yourself?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Miriam Donge. I'm the CEO, Kenya National Chamber of Commerce, Machakos County Chapter. Welcome to Machakos.
Protocols observed. Good morning, everybody. My name is Frederick Ngombe. I'm a director, Kenya National Chamber of Commerce, representing Matumbulu and Modoro region. I'm also doubling as the chairman in Mazo Trader Circle, who are head organizers. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Pena Mutinda. I work for the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce, head office.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Frederick Mukilia. I come from the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce headquarters.
Yes, nilikuwa nimesema jina yangu, na kwa wale hawakusikia, mimi naitwa Joseph Mutavi Kithu. Mimi ndio Regional Director representing Lower Eastern Region, Machakos, Kitui na Makueni. Na kwa sababu nitaongea tena, wacha niseme wakati huo. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Makofi. Those are the people who sat many times to plan and to organize this event. I want to recognize Mr. John Montessori from Expo, who has been high for. Oh, there. Karibu sana. I also want to acknowledge the presence of our other partners who supported us financially and have been with us throughout. Universal Trader Circle. I don't know whether there is a representative. Yes, thank you very much. Konza, Technopolis. We have Madam Jambuti here. Then we have anti-counterfeit of Authority. Thank you very much. We have Equity Bank. I'm just mentioning a few of you. If I don't mention you, please know that you are part of this, and we are happy to have you with us here today. And we have the exhibitors who have their exhibitions out there to be able to see and also to know how many other people are involved. We have somebody from China. Thank you very much. And we also have people from Southern Africa who are going to be joining us later in the day. We have a group, also East group from Zimbabwe. They are on the way coming. And we have the School of Entrepreneurship, South Africa. Also, we have a team of about 20 people joining us later on in the day. They had issues with visas and things like that, but eventually we have learned that they have boarded a flight and they should be here before the end of this week. We have our Waziri train. We started this journey with her and our office. We thank you very much for the support that you've given us. And it is you who showed us the way and who directed us on how to go. And due to, the country, we all have economic hardship. We have set a bar very, very high. We couldn't reach it. And we are very thankful that this university came to our aid. We landed here, and we landed with no money. And they told us that you are welcome, and we are going to work together. Thank you very much, Machakos University. May God continue to guide you and to be with you, and to lead the students to great heights. As Unleash Africa Economies, our mission is to provide meaningful opportunities for women, for men, for youth, for persons with disabilities, for marginalized people, so that they may learn, start, build, and accelerate their businesses within all countries in Africa. And we are starting that journey with Machakos University, with the Chamber of Commerce here today. UAE aims to provide opportunities and ways to learn, and also to bring linkages between entrepreneurs from all over Kenya and from outside Kenya. We are encouraging everyone to build networks across the continent and to use technology as a vehicle to reach out to others. Because when people finally have a solid network of support and utilization of technology, they can effectively compete in international markets and economies. We know the youth and the women also, especially, have been marginalized a lot, and historically they've been below the curve as compared to the male counterparts. But I was a women rep, and that is not what I'm campaigning for. Everyone, men, women, youth, everybody should be on board as far as development, as far as technological know-how is concerned, and as far as unleashing our potential is concerned. So, Unleash Africa wants people to invest in smart economies, and for Africa to progress, it needs to see everyone taking part in businesses, everyone becoming innovative, and everyone thinking about the future as a prosperous future, and as a place where we will all be able to enjoy life. Even the Bible says the Lord Jesus came so that we can have life and have it more abundantly. So that abundance life cannot come if we are just sitting and doing nothing. We are very happy and very fortunate to have a breeding ground, the university here, which has youth. You have seen them singing here, and the youth have got all manner of ideas. And many of the ideas that come through, many people do not recognize them. We do not tap them. We do not nurture them. And we do not come up with ideas that will move us forward. And yet, these young people, when they go out of this country, they create such innovations that other countries are benefiting, and we are not. So we want to sustain what we have, improve on it, work hard, and as our name says, unleash the potential for everybody, unleash the potential for Africa. And so that the economy can improve. Everybody is crying. It's not Kenya only. Everybody is crying about the downturn of the economy. But having us together and using what we have and the knowledge that we have and multiplying it to great heights, I am sure, and I have no doubt, we can unleash our potential and move and grow and build synergies continentally. And for me, I'm very proud to be associated with Unleash Africa Economies and the partners that we have today. So I want to end there and to wish that everyone will participate actively in this Expo 23. So welcome, and may God bless everyone.
We want to appreciate our guest in style. There are two things we'll do. I will say mama, mama, because she's a lady, and then you clap back. Mama, mama, mama. Mama, mama, mama. Wonderful mama. Former lady representative for women, and now a senior chair. Yani, we appreciate the fact that you are here. We know that she's in an institution which is also headed by a mama, and there's a C was campus also a mama, and we saw a lady from and counterfeit is a mama, so we make a major one. Mama, mama, mama. And then you give them 5 factorial. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 20. Thank you very much. And we are crowning it with a small dance just to make a difference, because we are innovating from Cheney traditional dancers. You know, we are in Masaku, and therefore we must recognize innovative talent in Masaku. These are ladies of age. We can't keep them waiting for too long, yet they have something nice for us. Can you welcome them? And as they get set, tutafanya ile nyayo. Mmesahau nyayo. Digital Parliament. Nyayo. Digital Parliament. And mzee wa kazi wants to say something about them? No, okay. So mko tayari? You can naweza tutumbuiza sasa. Thank you. Dakika mbili. Sawa.
Balola cheni nena emende la umela. Balola cheni nena emende la umela. Ekane mwenyanda ya eolo petana. Ekane mwenyanda ya eolo petana. Kemba ni balwa cheni ndenda bandu tembite. Na emende la umela. Balola cheni nena emende la umela. ekone mwenyanda ya olo pitana ekone mwenyanda ya olo pitana eno eni kalo tieni.
Thank you for the finalist Professor.
But for now, we have to continue with the program. So for that, that we just give them rain for club. Just club like rain for
in here, DRC Congo, Congo Brazzaville here, Maputo here in Mozambique, and many other countries. Remember, you don't need any visa. Remember, if you have, as per the agreement by the government, you can access these markets, and even if they only need your driving license. There are a lot of opportunities, and as chamber, we are committed to shape you on that. The last comment I want to make, as Chamber of Commerce and Industry, we really want to catalyze the partnership between our chambers, especially the upper lower eastern region, that is Makueni, Kitui, and Machakos. I know you have also the regional economic bloc, to strengthen this so that you can, based on comparative and competitive advantage, Madam Sharon, you can be able to champion on this. We really want to see the lower eastern trading among themselves before you think of going to Nairobi. Nairobi is a shepherd market, and I would ask the county government, I know your governor is working closely with the private sector, and this is the way to go. Engage them through our leadership. I've seen the chairman. Where's the chairman? Chairman of Chambers of Machakos. Yes, you have a lot of opportunities. Work closely with your members to be nominated through the County Budget Economic Forum to enhance on issues. You can just take your seat. To enhance on public participation. Let them know in legislative framework, work closely with the county assembly. That is how the county government will get to know the pain points which the entrepreneurs are going through. Chief guest, with that highlight, allow me now to go to the notes. And I would not miss even a comma because I'm representing the chamber president and vice president. So I'll read this very fast and without adding anything. Now, receive the greetings of the chamber president, who is now in Sweden looking for opportunities for the Kenyan business players, and our vice chamber president, Mr. Mustafa Ramadan, who is also attending other bilateral engagements today, this morning in Nairobi. He had requested me to make efforts to be here with to engage you, and I took the honor. Now, this is the speech for my boss. It is my honor and privilege, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the chamber leadership, to be here with you to celebrate the Entrepreneurs Unlocking Potential 2023. I extend my appreciation to all sponsors, partners, exhibitors who have gathered today, and also my appreciation goes to the Machakos University for taking lead to really host this historic event. As you are aware about Chamber, we have more than 177 network globally. And what does this one tell you? It tells you that if you have your products today, Mr. Murray, who sits here, and I told you is my mentor, and he has been leading the economic diplomacy, will tell you that if you do value addition and you get opportunity to accompany chamber leaders in any of the bilateral or trade missions, you will be able to really showcase your products beyond Machakos. And chamber is using this global network to really support the entrepreneurs, support the innovation, support so that they can be able to access the global markets. We have over 173 MOUs. These MOUs we have done, chief guest, with the different development partners, we have done with the different embassies, we have done with the different players, and also other associations globally. Why do we do that? Is to open opportunities for you people. And you need to really take shape and work with us. Locally, we have done MOUs with the Council of Governors, Kenya Bankers Association, and also other players to really stipulate and catalyze the business opportunities. We have also work with several committees among government offices and also other private sector players. Now, on the power of entrepreneurship, I want to say that we have gathered here today to emphasize and celebrate a force that has potential to drive African economies to new heights, especially to champion entrepreneurship, not only in Kenya, but in Africa and globally. Africa is a continent that has immense potentials. This market which presents to more than 1.3 billion. Where does this leave this regional economic bloc of the Lower Eastern? As we really think about this, unlocking the potential requires harnessing the power of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship has the unique ability to economic growth, create jobs, foster innovation, and uplift communities. Today, ladies and gentlemen, Kenya is ranked number 3 as per the Global Innovation Index of 2022, after Mauritius and South Africa. Where does this one leave you? It tells you that we don't need to do traditional production. In this Lower Eastern as Chamber, we did a lot of research, especially on the value addition, Your Excellency. And it tells us that you have potential to really do a lot of value addition, especially on mango and other products. And today, one of our members is exporting the fresh mangoes to external markets, China. And this is from Kitui, courtesy intervention. We want to encourage most of you to do that and really foster a lot of bilateral partnership. Now, our entrepreneurs are the key and are especially driving an economy. Today, Machakos County remains steadfast when it comes to legislative framework to really support the business growth. You can only benefit from these legislative frameworks that are set by our county governments if you remain very competitive and remain innovative. I want to challenge you to really focus so much in manufacturing of services, adoption of technology, agriculture, but agriculture that involves the smart farming. You are all aware that from October, we'll realize a lot of El Nino across the country. As business people, how prepared are you? Or are you waiting for the time to call government support, government support? This tells you that Lower Eastern can have bumper harvest so that we enhance on food security. I want to challenge you to really work closely with all players to ensure that we have a very good food basket in this region. This does not come guest of honor without highlighting some of the challenges. We know there are a lot of challenges affecting entrepreneurs across the country. One of them is access to affordable finances. As we sit here today, you know our interest rate, banks have gone up to around 17%. Others are even charging 18%. We want to persuade you to really utilize other better options that are being presented, and I'm happy that MCI is here today. They're like the Hustler Fund Phase 2, which we really support. I hope Mr. James Mareo will highlight on that. And we really support the government on those initiatives because it is based on single digit. And also the circles, which will give you single digits and they will never harass you. That does not mean that you don't need to go to commercial banks. If you need a lot of millions, commercial banks would be the better option. Another issue which, Chief Guest, we need to candidly address is unfavorable business environment. When we were in Eldoret some few days ago, we really raised these concerns with the relevant governors. The issue of double taxation. How do we really address that? Yesterday, I had a meeting with the Northern Corridors, and we are saying for us to open the Horn of Africa, we must really candidly talk about double taxation so that goods can freely move. Why must you be taxed from here to Makueni, from Makueni to Kitui, Kitui to Taita Taveta? This would really kill the innovation and the enthusiasm of our local producers. Inadequate access to information. Madam CEC, reach out to your members, reach out to entrepreneurs, begin with Machakos. Do they understand the products? Do they understand what the legislation that you are doing at the county assembly? Access to information is power to our entrepreneurs. As chamber, we have here trade facilitation officer, Fred, just wave to them. Yes, this is your own son, whom I've nurtured from university lecture hall. now is the business ambassador to Hunan province in China, and we have opened an office there. Makofi to Chamber for that. If you don't empower, charity begins at home, then they will curse you. I have your own daughter here, Penasius Mutinda. Where are you? When it comes to membership services and market intelligence, this is the lady to watch. And I'm told she was born from here. So if they remain poor in the next 5 years or 10 years, I will not be blamed, or the chamber leadership. You will be blamed. We need to really regulate unfair competition that will kill our local industries. We are not against imports, but we are proceeding. When 3 weeks ago, when we met, Chief Guest, when we met the Senate Department of Committee in charge of Industry and Trade, we really persuaded them so that they can be able to ask you, so that we have a motion or a legislative on how to regulate on imports. Because it kills our local industries. We say, preach, buy Kenya, produce Kenya, buy Kenya. But at the end of the day, we normally bring cheap imports and flood them in our markets. That is a very, very serious concern that we must really be able to address. Now, another thing is the skill gap. We are encouraging members and entrepreneurs to stop marketing their products on the day lease because it is very expensive. Chief Guest, where we have reached as Kenya, I've told you we are number 3 in Africa, and very soon we will be in position 2 or 1 if South Africa and Mauritius is not careful. Now, how do we do it? Learn to digitalize your products. You can even market your products at the bedroom, so that somebody in Homa Bay, in Trans Nzoia, in Tharaka Nithi is able to know about your potential. As Chamber, we have worked with the development partners. One of them is Trademark Africa. If you, Fred, you need to give them this platform so that they access to it. ISOCO. For the last of 6 months, it has attracted the participation of more than 6,000 players, so that people would get to know your products without really striving a lot to go and look for a market space to showcase your products. These are the kind of avenues we really want to encourage entrepreneurs to adopt. And adopt, don't work in silos. Work together, work as a team. I know James will touch on that. That is the strength. When a colleague approaches you, can we combine efforts so that we export our products in Uganda? And we put them in one container. Don't say, what if we fail? Never think of failure as an entrepreneur. Focus on productivity and also opportunities that comes with that. Chief Guest, how do we unlock entrepreneurs' potential? As Chamber, we are working with several partners and which can support the entrepreneurs to get financial access at a single digit. And we are doing this very soon. Mr. Director Mutabi, you will come here and we'll launch it in Lower Eastern. That is the message I was told to pass to you. So that entrepreneurs, when you are told to take these funds, go and take them. Other things we'll address later. I hope you have heard what I'm trying to drive. Go and take the funds. Other things will be addressed later. Now, I want to also encourage you to enhance on collaborative ecosystem and partnership. This is the way to go. Work with the universities because they are very competent in research and technologies. Machakos universities are a blessing to you. Don't just see it as a learning institution. Some of us who have gone to those levels, we know these professors can transform you. Don't go and look for consultants in Nairobi and you leave your own human resource here in this Machakos. Work with them for innovation. Work with them for market intelligence. Work with them for product and development and also even referrals. And you will not remain the same. As Chamber, we promise to work with you to improve on market access and by focusing so much on job creation, empowering women entrepreneurs, promoting sustainability, facilitating access to finance and markets, and nurturing collaborative ecosystems which I've talked about. The chamber paves the way for Africa transformation. We have started economic shuttle within Africa markets. Our chamber president, since he came to the office, I must say he has really tried. The first time we were at Congo Brazzaville to open new opportunities. Can I shock you? Congo Brazzaville, for them to put food on the table, they have to wait for the planes to come from Turkey, Australia, America, and also Brazil, is when they would get the chicken on the table. And here, you can produce, invest in poultry farming, and export to Congo Brazzaville, courtesy of chamber. So there are a lot of opportunities, and we are doing this to focus and open African markets for you. So be ready to all our counties. If you go to Kitui, I know Kitui is here. Is Kitui chamber represented here? Kitui? Makueni? Good, now you can see. We are not working in silos. We work within the economic blocks of all 7 of them in Africa, and not in Kenya. And we want to encourage you, if you go to Kitui, you will get better services here. First, we have undertaken key reform programs to chart entrepreneurship and sector in key areas like market access, which I've talked about, and development, financial inclusion, and credit access. We are working with several, instead of our SMEs being charged 17% or 15% interest rate, county government can take maybe half of that. Then bank will take half of maybe that percent, maybe 8%. And it is working in other counties, like it has adopted it, and they are really empowering their SMEs. We also want to encourage you to continue digitizing your products, and chamber will support you on this. Our focus is in e-commerce. I've seen and Mambo is here, is our member and a partner, and I know he will be given opportunity to talk about that. Export readiness is key to us as chamber, and this is something we are focusing on. Director will be working closely with you to sample the best innovators so that whenever we are going for these missions, we can also link them with the global market. Ladies and gentlemen, processing plant, which I know the former professor and the governor of Makueni had started, please processing plant, honey processing. Everybody, if you go to supermarket, they will tell you the best honey comes from Lower Eastern and by extension, Kitui. And we really want to market it beyond Kenyan horizons. Poultry farming is very key. In fact, me, if I go to one of these joints in Nairobi, I ask, nataka kuku kienyeji from Ukambani. So don't abuse that investment. It is very key. Mining is key here, tourism and hospitality. Nairobi has presented a lot of opportunities for you, Machakos. So utilize this and invest in hospitality and tourism. In conclusion, Chief Guest, I want to say, as we immerse ourselves in the entrepreneurship and unlocking potential Expo 2023, let us be inspired by the stories of innovation and resilience that surrounds us today. Let us seize the moment to renew our commitment to entrepreneurship, to economic growth, and also to the development. I want to thank each one and every one of you for being a part of this long journey. Together, we can indeed unleash African economies and create a future that is very vibrant, inclusive, and prosperous to all. Thank you so much. May this Ready Expo be a catalyst to positive change and transformation. Lower Eastern is a very peaceful region. Where I come from, we say if you want to live longer, marry a lady from either Machakos, Kitui, or Makueni. May God bless you. Asante.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Let me, guest of honor, let me break the protocol a bit and recognize my 3 chapters from Lower Eastern. Please, directors wale wametoka Makueni, Kitui, and Machakos. Musimame tu mwave. Please. Makofi kwao. Asanteni sana. Mine is an elective post, so if I don't recognize them, you know what will happen.
Thank you very much. We also appreciate those directors who have come. I can see they are very branded. They are branded and we accept it. So for the guest who has just given us a wonderful speech, we just appreciate the fact that the chamber has not forgotten all its members, the chamber has not forgotten to guide, the chamber has not forgotten to nurse, the chamber has not forgotten to mentor, and all those, they are quite wonderful things, isn't it? So tunakumbuka ile Nyayo digital and then the parliament. Nyayo digital parliament. Nyayo digital parliament. Chamber of Commerce na watu yake wazuri. Tunawapenda. Wonderful. Pia uwaambie tuko happy. Tuko happy. Parliament. Thank you. So now we are shifting here now. We want to welcome the Vice Chancellor so that she can give her remarks, and then she will welcome the Chairman of the Council, Christopher. Then the Chairman will introduce Madam Sharon to speak in place of the County Governor, Her Excellency Obinya Ndeti, who was here. And then now we invite our guest of honor, who is the Chancellor, wonderful Chancellor, our very own Dr. James. So we go in that order. I welcome Madam. And I think Mama, wonderful lady. Mama. Vice Chancellor, you're welcome. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Professor Mbeiwa, the Chief Guest and our Chancellor, Dr. James Moria, the Chairman of Council, Dr. Christopher Katama Kakau, the representative of the President of the Kenya Chamber of Commerce, the CEO, the Executive Chair Lady of Unleash Africa, Madam Honorable Dr. Susan Musyoka, whom we are very happy and pleased to have you around here. You know, you thought of the university, and now this event is happening here because of your thoughts for us. Our CEC, Madam Sharon, the representative of Konza, Technopolis, Madam Ndambuki, all other chief executive officers represented here from various organizations, members of Machakos University Management Board present, staff and students, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning once again. Yes, I'm privileged to be here this morning to welcome you all to Machakos University and also to this first International Trade Expo and Conference, whose theme is Unlocking the Potential for Entrepreneurs. As a university, we are very pleased to host this function today, tomorrow, and Friday. First, because it's unleashing African economies, but also I believe that it's also going to unleash us as a university. The potential of our students, the potential of our staff, please take this opportunity and ensure that our wings are released. We are an institution, and we know our logo. We soar high. So can we now unleash ourselves and soar high, even as we take advantage of the networking that we're going to be able to get here today. I acknowledge the unleashed African economies and the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry for initiating this event and choosing Machakos University to partner and host this event. We are really honored to have that opportunity. We thank both the national and county government for their unwavering commitment in supporting this kind of development. We have said charity begins at home. You know, if all the time you go looking out there to get support, you will never develop yourself, you will never grow. So I think it's very important, and I really appreciate also that we are being encouraged that let us all hold hands together here and start with ourselves. it is at a point or a time when we need to transform ourselves. We transform our thinking and even our attitude. And even as a university, it is important that we even transform the programs that we have, so that now we start retooling our graduates in a different way. We know the market has changed. We know the environment is changing. I know even like COVID changed us, our thinking. We were thinking we could not teach online, but in one way or another, within a week or 2 weeks, we were able to transform ourselves. Businesses, you all know. In fact, it is very interesting. You found people sprang up in places and you find cardboard sales all over, just because that the situation had moved us into that extent. So I think this is an opportunity for us to innovate, and innovate in ways that are going to lead us into becoming powerful economies. I'm happy we are number 3 in Africa, but we could still be number 1. And that is where we are going. And we, with the support of the minds that are great minds that are here today and partnerships, I think we'll be able to go far. So indeed, this conference is a great opportunity for us as a higher learning institution. We have the resolve to tap the resources, ideas and networks that will enable us in this university to provide scholarly education for industrial and socio-economic transformation of our society. So as the minds that we have within the institution, nurturing those young talents, this is an opportunity for us to be able to open their experiences so that they can be able to come out as individuals who would be ready to tap into the opportunities that are available within the global arena. So ladies and gentlemen, in partnership with the Unleash Africa Economies, and the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Machakos chapter, we have organized this event to create a new generation of economic leaders who will be focused on infrastructure, agribusiness, energy and digital advancement to rejuvenate our businesses and also the industry sector. Therefore, Machakos University is poised to benefit from the noble partnership in the areas of infrastructure, agribusiness, and technological transformation to enhance learning and research and to release a generation of graduates that will effectively compete in the global market. I would like to add that even as now we review our programs, it is important that even as we look at what are going to be the common units that we are going to teach, so that we want to have every graduate who exits our institution to have a knowledge, to be an entrepreneur, to have knowledge of commerce, to have knowledge of ICT, because that is where the market is going to work or to operate. That is now the new operating environment. So it is important that as a university, that is the direction we are going to take. And we really would like to thank this opportunity that has been given to us to rethink and recast the way we operate as an institution, and know that probably that living in the ivory tower and all the time just thinking of ideas, it is important that we now come down and ensure that we are putting those ideas into practice and even ensuring that those ideas become products at the end of the day. So that again will be able to lead us into resources or provide resources for us that will be able to generate and feed into the economy. So ladies and gentlemen, today economic hardships have strained and burdened many higher learning institutions. Therefore, this forum of networking will indeed unlock the potential for entrepreneurial opportunity for our institution and to the community at large, in line with our vision, which is to provide scholarly education through training, research and innovation for industrial and socio-economic transformation of our communities. We can only transform if we actually put the ideas that we generate into practice and ensure that we are coming up with innovations that are useful and beneficial to our society. That is the only way as Machakos University that we can be able to transform the society, and we will begin from home here, Machakos, and then move into the rest of the world. And with the technology, we are not limited. And I'd like to unleash Africa economies. We are unleashing all our potentials in all areas or in all aspects. Therefore, we do not want to remain, as we say we will learn to transform, then we will transform in that direction as we have pointed out today. So as a university, we take pride in our philosophy to provide transformative leadership in teaching, training, research, innovation, industrial and technology transfer for wealth creation. I mean, why do we go to school? Why do we want even to participate in a conference like this? It is for us to ensure that our future is better. And we can only make that future better when we have ideas and innovative ideas at that level. So in so doing, we have established mechanisms of linking research to industry, where we have partnered with various industry players to ensure our students and community benefit from such collaborations. For this tripartite partnership is one among the many, and it is through these strategic partnerships that the university continues to enhance her alternative sources of income as a strategy to complement government capitation in a bid to solve our economic challenges. In fact, with these kind of partnerships, and once we actually ensure that we innovate and conduct research, these issues of saying we have challenges in this and the other would really be a thing of the past. So as a university, I would like to encourage especially the academic staff who are here that let us delve into this area of entrepreneurship, and I'm sure we'll be able to even make our university an entrepreneurial university in the long run. So in fact, this will remain the university's springboard to unleash its potential and explore different avenues to boost its economic and academic growth. We want to grow in all the spheres, so that even as we release our students, then we are releasing them into a world when they are ready to participate into that transformed world. So ladies and gentlemen, with regards to academics, the university seeks to capitalize on the Expo to form partnership to work together so that in future we build wider network schemes with stakeholders present today who will play a pivotal role in curriculum development, support in the establishment of new relevant programs that will bolster our students' confidence in the world of agribusiness, energy, and digital advancement. I take pride in informing you that as a university, we have entered into various collaborations with a number of partners who have propelled the university to the limelight. The support of our partners like the Tianjin Vocational City in China has seen the university establish a state-of-the-art Luban workshop under the Chinese Belt and Road Initiative. The workshop is the second in Africa and specializes in innovative cloud computing and information security, Internet of Things, big data, analytics, blockchain, and artificial intelligence. So when we look at that list, or when we hear that list, that is where the world is going. These days, I think the previous speaker just mentioned that you can be able to even operate from your own home and link it to the rest of the world for us to be able to reach out to the rest of the world. So the rest of the world, or these days, it is not probably that I must have an office somewhere so that I move in the morning to that office to work from 8 to 5. Now you can even actually, with the technology that we have and the skills that we anticipate to get, we can be able to work from wherever you are and even learn from wherever you are. We saw even the example of the Open University the other day, where it is going to provide its programs right across to anyone who is ready. But as Machakos University, we have also already moved into that direction. COVID forced us earlier on. We have already using a blended learning and teaching, and soon some of our programs actually will also be available for you to be able to take them from wherever you are. We also even have short programs that can now enhance and unleash that potential, especially in the digital environment. So we are ready as an institution, and we are going to be able to take that. So the workshop is used for teaching, research, innovation, and in this digital era. And we would like to invite our community, the public, that actually even like our Minister for Trade, when you have probably some training that you may need to do for the youth, even for whoever it is, we have facilities in Machakos University which we can partner with the county to be able to use for the training. And we have all the brains here that can be able to support that. So our students continue to generate innovative solutions to mitigate emerging challenges. We continue to take pride on an innovation by the voting, and I would like the representatives to stand here. Yes, a team with Kelvin. The voting, I remember when the era when, please take a seat, we had universities, every other time we go for elections, we would end up, sometimes the university would close. there would be a lot of chaos because of voting and all that. But one of our own students with a team, they worked together and produced our voting system that now enables us, and we've been improving on that system. Initially, you need to come to the institution to vote. But the last time, actually, they were able to vote even from wherever they were, and they were able to get credible results. And we have not had any complaints because it is very transparent. So that is one area, and I think even they participated actually in one way or another supporting the national elections. And I am informed that they are intending to see if they can be the ones actually that will hold the national elections. So we can see that we have that potential as Machakos University, and we would like to get even our investors to see our Chamber of Commerce, if we can be able to support that product, then we can see if it can be able to take us places even as an institution. So I urge the stakeholders present to embrace technology and contact our university for further details as we purpose to continue partnering together and hold hands to unlock the potential of the young entrepreneurs by supporting this kind of product and other products that we will be able to see tomorrow and even today as we go to the tents to see the innovations. The university also participated in the Huawei ICT competition in 2022-2023 global final. So imagine Machakos University actually moved in the whole world. So universities were able to move and present on that stage, that global stage. And we emerged. We were able to emerge number 7 internationally, but number one in Africa. So even as we are here, we have that great potential at Machakos University. Where is Francis and team? Frank? Oh, he's also supporting work elsewhere, but that is the team. So with the partnership that we have, and we are happy to have Konza, that through that partnership with Konza, we were able to get Huawei, and from there, that is actually where we have moved to, and we are still going places as Machakos University. So we are ready to unleash that potential, again with the support of the team that we have. And even through the partnership with Konza, we were able to have now the UNESCO chair. And I would like to get our DVC to stand. Yes. So again, through the partnerships that we've had, we've been able to get that UNESCO chair. So there are many good things that happen in Machakos University. Sometimes we are humble, we don't shout a lot. But there are also very good things happening in Machakos University. So the university continues to align its mandate with Kenya's blueprint digital economy in order to address the growing needs of society and the government's bottom-up agenda transformation. And this is done by encouraging students to be innovative in creating self-employment and digital solutions to the community at large. So the 5 pillars of the government's agenda are agricultural transformation and inclusive growth. So we know that we have a challenge with the weather here in Machakos, the county. So it's important that even we, of course, that we cannot stay without food. So we need to be innovative in the way we get our food, and part of the ideas need to come from the institution here. Transforming the micro and the small and medium enterprises, housing and settlement. Of course, we have our programs in the School of Engineering, the Civil Engineering, which again, we are training people to be able to participate in that. Healthcare, we have also programs here. And digital superhighway and creative economy. I've just mentioned about our Luban workshop and the programs that we have. It is to this end that I am confident that the university will go a long way in contributing towards the realization of this agenda and that of the digital economy through disruptive innovations by our staff and students. And we have the great potential through our staff and students, and I'm confident that Machakos University will also be able to move forward. So we are only just saying, let us watch this space. We will be able to come in as Machakos University, and we will be able to partner together and move into the rest of the world and Lorena that we take our place and our position. The commitment and determination of the university to contribute immensely to the changing digital space has seen us partner with stakeholders who encourage and provide an excellent platform for startups, entrepreneurs and SMEs to network, showcase and market their products. So we have the Huawei technologies that I've just talked about, our Konza, Technopolis, Tribus, TGS and MasterCard Foundation through the Ajiri Center. And this I would not do justice if I don't say it is our own Chancellor, Dr. James Moria, who actually initiated this having a Jiri Center here. And Mr. Chancellor, sir, we would like to let you know that the Ajiri Center is really transforming the lives of our students. They actually participate there. Every time you go, you find them at the center, and they are a testimony. And I hope Professor Mulo, they are also going to be somewhere here as part of the exhibitors. As Madam Susan was saying the other time that our students, if they don't have anything else to do, then probably they just go walk in the streets of the town and all that. But that Ajiri Center is actually taking a lot of time for the students, and it's taking it, and it is revolutionizing actually the way our students now are operating and the way they are now pitching up and getting businesses through Ajiri Center. We thank you very much, Chancellor. Then, I would just like to inform also that Ajiri Center is not only for students of Machakos University, it's actually for the community. So if we can actually even get the youth, they can be mentored also through that center. So it is open, and as a university in the county, and the only university at that, we would like to say that we really want to get more partnerships with the county so that we can be able to have an impact, a positive impact to the society and the community around us. So you are welcome to enjoy the platform and also explore opportunities within the university. And as I conclude, I would like to extend our invitation to you to visit all the booths, and of course visit our booth also at the exhibition, see our products. And as a preferred University of Excellence in scholarship and service delivery, we would like to leave that actually that we are an excellent institution. I also wish to inform you that the university is in the process of developing a new strategic plan in line with the fifth generation strategic plan guidelines, which will enable the university to align to the transformative national development aspirations as exposed in the bottom-up economic transformation agenda and the Kenya Vision 2030 and fourth and medium-term plan for 2023-2027. So finally, I once again extend my welcome to the Expo. I also will extend my welcome to you to the Expo and conference. Karibuni sana to this academic and research jam of Machakos as we thrive to build our learning and economic foundations to prosperity. To the entrepreneurs, both upcoming and established, in the words of Richard Branson, entrepreneurship is about turning what excites you into life, and into capital so that you can do more of it and move forward with it. Always remember, like again, Ralph, that to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. So with that, I would like to thank you very much for listening to me and welcome again to Machakos University and to our Expo. Karibuni sana. So God bless you all.
Yes, I want just to appreciate you as you are closing. Because
hey, if I say something, just clap once. Number one in Africa, clap. Number 7 internationally. Ajiri Center is only here. It's popular community chair. And then the drinking gallery is here. So I just wanted to go to understand one that Machakos University is please spread the gospel, and they have more to offer. You can see I'm wearing a shirt that is designed. So ask me more about it. I will tell you. Thank you very much. Now, with your permission, I will request you to give a brief welcome to James Mureu, the MCA person. Then you go to the chair, then you go. Yes. And we recognize your colleague, that is the Vice Chancellor of Scotts University, Professor Morombi Ole Ronkele or Ronke. Tell the burning speak. The professor, just raise your hand.
Please, can we? Oh, please, can you
we are working with them. And then we have apologies from the county secretary, county government of Machakos. They would have been with us, but they have commitments.
but the lady here will represent. So, thank you.
So thank you very much. So as guided, please, Mr. James, I would like to invite you. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much. I will stand on the protocols that have been established. And I've seen Morompi there. Morompi, I seem to think to remember you. And you can confirm we went to the same school, Stanley Boys. Thank you very much, Prof. Really, I'm delighted to be here this morning, primarily because of the role that I play in ensuring that we continue developing and supporting the micro and small enterprises as best as we can. But I must start by giving you a little story about an old man in the village who never used to go home because of barking dogs. He goes to the local pub, he drinks, and every dog that barks, he looks for a stone to throw. And he always got home very late in the morning because he's been throwing stones at dogs. And he was very tired, and then the drink that he had taken has evaporated, and basically he had wasted a whole evening instead of enjoying his drink and going home. What's the moral of this story? Don't throw stones at things that don't matter. Let's direct our energy where it matters most, where it's most productive. And just recently, again, going by what we are seeing in the news, there's been a story about the American ambassador giving a compelling story about Kenya and how Kenya is strategically positioned and ready for business. Unfortunately, the politicians flipped that and turned it around, and I want to dissuade you from thinking about, no matter how bad the country is, if somebody says something good about Kenya, let's appreciate it, let's embrace it, because Kenya is a good country. And we have no other country to go to, Vice Chancellor. It is only this country. When they say that Kenya is a gateway to Africa, there is no truer fact than that, because we sit smack in the middle of Africa, 5 hours in any direction of Africa, and so we hold the key to this great continent of Africa. And that is why today I'm also excited about this theme of this conference, Unleashing African Economies, the potential. How long can potential remain potential? We must release it. Otherwise, then it just becomes as useless as the old man who throws stones at the dogs. There is so much potential in this country that we cannot afford to waste it away. Then we also have a very supportive government. And I'm being honest to you, where I sit as chair of the micro and small enterprises, we are actually supporting the bottom of the pyramid. And I can tell you, the only thing that you start from the top is a hole. You're likely to fall in that hole. Everything else, after ulikuwa mtoto kidogo, you grew up, you're now a mature person, but you must have started from the bottom going up. So we have gotten the right tools to work our way to the top. And that's where I sit and think about SMEs every day of my life, from when I left the chamber, and I see my friend Joona Kiara there and Mushiri, former colleagues at the chamber, karibuni sana. We have persistently pursued that. And right now where I sit, we are looking at supporting the bottom of the pyramid by way of the Hustler Fund, by way of this other fund, the group fund that has been unleashed. And what is the import of this? I look at it as a way of banking the unbanked. A lot of Juakalis, and I remember Madam Sharon, when the fire gutted the Juakali shades in Machakos here, I think I was about the third or the fourth person to arrive on site. At that time I was the chair of the micro and small enterprises. We empathized, the fire had not even died off. We went around, we offered immediate assistance. Why? We recognize that you cannot do without a livelihood. And when fire has gutted your only source of livelihood, you are faced with the possibility of starving to death. So we went in with some support, we rendered that. That's what I do every day. We want to support the bottom of the pyramid, where, if I give you the numbers, we have about, right now we have about 21 million members in the Hustler Fund, meaning that's a group of people, the Hustler Fund, to that bottom of the economy. You may not see this right now, and I can bet if you plant maize now, you are likely to harvest in 6-7 months' time. That is the period we are waiting for. But the maize has been planted, and the 35 billion is circulating somewhere at the bottom of the pyramid. Thanks to the power of the digital economy. It was digitally disbursed, it's digitally paid back. We paid back 25 billion. We have 21 million customers. We have saved for the micro and small enterprise 1.8 billion. I mean, these are figures that hitherto were not heard of, but it's happening today realistically and truthfully in our country. And we have the guts to throw mud at this country. I think it's wrong. And recently I attended an event in Nairobi which was promoting global collaboration with higher education. And this is again something that resonates with what we are. We are here at an institution of higher learning where we can establish more collaboration. Again, thanks to the Kenya Konza government, we have now what we call recognition of prior learning, which is a skill that has, I mean, a lot of us are skills. They are welders, they are masons, they are carpenters who are good at their work. But when the big contractors are looking for people they can offer contracts to, they speak to your papers, yeah? If you have no papers that say you're a plumber or a carpenter or a welder, they don't know you. No matter how good you are, you must have some papers. So I appreciate again the collaborative arrangement between the institutions of higher learning and the practitioners, so that we can retool them, we can grade them, we can certify them, and therefore position Kenyans for offtake of this very important economic development. What's the import of, say, right now, micro and small enterprises? What are we trying to achieve? We are looking at financial literacy, financial inclusion, and banking the unbanked. You know, I don't know, how many of you have participated in that program, the Hustler Fund? How many are registered? Just by a show of hands. You guys are all wealthy, eh? I can tell you for a fact, the participation is enormous, the returns are instant, and you get your money at very negligible interest rate, which is what we are looking at. Mwananchi wa kawaida, normal interest rate, you borrow 500 shillings in the morning, you pay 501.45 cents in the evening. How about that? 1 shilling 45 cents. Na umekuwa na 500 yangu for a whole day. That is what is transforming. And before long, you will see wealth in people's pockets. We are also creating what we call credit scoring, because dawa ya deni fani kulipa. So you borrow and pay, and in the process you create a credit score that enables you then to even use that as collateral. You say, you go to a bank and say, guys, I need to borrow some money. When you ask for your track record, you don't have a bank account, but you have your M-Pesa statement that shows you have been borrowing and paying, and that way you become banked. I think I want to just finish there and appeal to the county governments. I know for a long time politics has taken us the wrong direction, but I want to appeal that we start looking at developing pro-business legislation in the assemblies, so that it's no longer about looking how to bring down the businesses, but how to build them through correct legislative planning, that you are looking at how can we build the business. Because Madam Sharon, and through you to the governor, how else will you collect taxes if these guys don't work? So you support them. And I reminded the president, no less, in a recent meeting, that in developing good legislation, what we are saying is the government is a partner in my business. Because at the end of the year, I pay them 30% corporate tax, which is like 30% shareholding of my business. It is incumbent upon the county government to support the businesses that are domiciled here so that they are able to then pay taxes to you happily so, without, and I'm sure the chamber regional rep is sitting there and he must also be whispering to you the same thing. The last thing that we are doing from micro and small enterprises is supporting the Jua Kali by way of, if you look at the housing programs, now we are allowing, we have standard doors, standard windows, standard grills that we have fought for. So that when the housing programs are going on, preferential treatment is given to the Jua Kali sector, the guys who can make these doors, we don't have to import them. What we can't import, what we have, we shouldn't import. And so we are saying that. We've also now moved to the healthcare, where we are saying we can make the beds, we can make the drip line holders and all this, so that we keep putting more and more money in the Jua Kali pockets. And I think for me, that is where we should all be aiming at. That is what will eventually unleash the economy and the potential that we have as a country. I think I want to leave it there and thank you very much. Unfortunately, I won't stay long. I've just seen a message that will make me go back. I'd have wanted to stay in the afternoon, but I'll probably come in tomorrow. But thank you very much, and God bless you.
About the man who is funding their banks. Did you understand that he is funding their banks? Those who are caring funds, now thank you very much. We continue banking their banks, and those of us who need to raise our hands, we are also going to come for the National Fund. So I am now going to invite the leadership. Just 1 minute before that, there is Mr. Mutavi, just to recognize the sponsors. We forgot to mention the sponsors, and it's not there. So please recognize our sponsors here in the podium. Your notes. Thank you.
Thank you so much. To our guest of honor, this is to recognize our sponsors who, without them, we would not be having this event. And I want to thank them in a very special way. Number one is Konza Techno City. Madam, we came to your place. We came to your place. Your people took us around, and we are happy that they supported us. And they told us that from tomorrow, from Friday, they are part of us. Thank you so much. UTA Sacco, I saw the chairman here. The chairman is here. Universal Traders Sacco, chairman. Thank you so much. If there is any Sacco that has served us well in this town, in Machakos town, and by extension Lower Eastern, it is UTS. Thank you so much. EPZA, who are domiciled in Machakos at River. EPZA, thank you so much. Maybe they are up there. Musea, through the chair and the CEO, we have been talking. We'll finalize something with him as he goes. But thank you so much. You have really taken care of us. Equity Bank, Machakos branch, thank you so much. You are part of us. Auto Ease Group, the guys who are coming from South Africa, they have already taken off. They are going to be here by around 4:30 this evening. School of Entrepreneurship in South Africa. The director got, what do you call it? COVID, as he was boarding the plane, so he had to cancel, but we are going to be with him very soon. Please, Optica, Ipora, who are with us this afternoon. Machakos Cooperative Union, Letshego Microfinance, Green Soil for Machakos, Shine Homes. Rhoda is here, but she's the one who is shining our homes around. Thank you so much for being part of this movement. Infosys, Amanbo, thank you so much. Just stand up so that guys can see you. We engaged that gentleman just a few days ago, and he came on board. We thank God he had already signed an MOU with the Chamber of Commerce, with the Chamber President, and he has promised to be part of this movement, to join the university, KNCCI, and Unleash Africa. Thank you so much. Machakos Hospitality College, stand up so that people can see you. Thank you so much. Those are the people who are training our youth for catering and other things. Kitui Chamber of Commerce. Kitui Chamber of Commerce. Yes, they are part of our exhibitors. Makueni Chamber of Commerce. Simameni muonekane, they are part of our exhibitors. Mukipitia pale, mupitie kwa hema yao, musaini kitabu kidogo, because next time we are going to their place. Machakos County Government, thank you so much. You have been part of us. Pass our regards to the governor and the deputy. And if it is possible, they can also pass by because we are here until Friday. And the Counterfeit Authority, thank you so much, madam. You have met somewhere else, I will remind you later. We are going to recognize others as they come, but for those who have recognized, thank you so much, and I feel at home. Asanteni sana. Company Secretary, Kenya National Chamber of Commerce, simama tu usalimie watu. Company Secretary, that's the man who draws all our agreements. I'll show you the person who draws agreements for the university, because you are going to get an MOU. If the chairman, the chancellor allows us as we go on. So our company secretary is here. Thank you so much.
Now, the license.
So thank you very much, Professor Mbima. Now it is my singular honor to be able to invite our Chair of Council, Dr. Christopher Kakama Katau. Dr. Kakau is a well-experienced person. He has participated in the uplifting of various organizations from where he has worked across in his own life. But I don't want to talk about those other places. I would like to talk about since he took over the chairmanship of Machakos University Council. He has a council that is leading us and guiding us as an institution. We have not had ourselves in the papers saying that we are, about to collapse. But it is because of his chairmanship, and it is because of the guidance that we have received from council. They give us all the necessary support as an institution, as management, so that we can be able to lead the institution very well. So we would like to really appreciate Dr. Kakau for him being able to lead us, or lead our council. And Mr. Chancellor, sir, we would like to appreciate, to acknowledge that through his leadership and the team that he has as an institution, we are where we are because of that leadership. So we'd really like to invite him and appreciate him. And can we do the appreciation as he comes? Yes.
Karibu.
Welcome, Chairman.
Karibu.
Thank you. ladies and gentlemen. I was at a place last week, and somebody said, we don't say what people have done, their goodness, until we are burying them. So that's most appreciated when somebody says you are doing good things, because normally they are said when you can't hear them. So thank you very much, Madam Vice Chancellor. Like James, and in recognition of time and the fact that we are a little bit behind schedule, I stand here and adopt the protocols which have been observed by the previous speakers. I would only like to add one. I always say our clients, the most important client in this university are the students, and I recognize the students, and people are being told to stand. Are there students in the room? Can you stand, please? These are the people who have made us be here. Thank you very much. With those few remarks, I'd like to say a few things. First is to welcome you to our university and to the conference on entrepreneurship. The word unleashing, I think, is the key word here. And I think all these people who have been talking, unleashing is like, sijui kama umeenda jikoni, nafunua sufuria ina maji inachemka. You know that force. It is force which you cannot restrain. You cannot prevent it. So when we use the word unleashing here, we are making a very, very strong personal commitment, Madam, because it's a strong force. We are unlocking, and once you unlock it, you cannot stop it. If you try to stop it, it can harm you. So, but if you manage it, it can take you very, very far. Hence, the theme of this conference, unlocking the potential for entrepreneurs. And as James said, we cannot continue in this world or in Kenya or in Africa saying we have got a lot of potential. We have to release it. I congratulate the partners who are very well enumerated here, who brought us here together to participate in this expo and conference. I also take the opportunity to acknowledge the exhibitors who are here, the various participants for their contribution towards the great success. We note that this is the first expo and conference of its kind being held in our university. Entrepreneurship, also, the other word which is very strong in our theme, it relates to setting up business. It relates to production. It relates to taking risks in hope, and this is an important word, that you are going to benefit. It relates to looking for opportunities, but opportunities will only come if you identify challenges. I don't know whether you can remember when COVID came and you're looking at newspapers. I don't know how many inventions came on board. I don't know whether you walked, if you walked in towns, Mama Bogas, in the butcheries, in institutions, in hospitals, within a very short time or within the first year, there are a lot of innovations which came on board. So if you identify challenges and becomes a headache, then you wonder, how do I solve these problems? And that is when you plant the seed of being an entrepreneur in hope of positive change, in hope of positive transformation. So it goes hand in hand with innovation. This has been a great strength for young entrepreneurs in Kenya and in the world, where the youth continue to leverage on innovation and technology to create a robust entrepreneurial environment. The pillars of science, research, and innovation define our history, especially at the university level. It cannot be ignored that education, management capital, and business skills are key factors contributing to entrepreneurship success. These factors also are complemented by favorable operating conditions such as access to dedicated premises, basic infrastructure, and ICT, because these factors improve or enhance performance and results. Unlocking the youth entrepreneurship potential calls for a number of actions in the area of programs and also in the area of policy. At the program level, carefully targeting interventions and tailoring them to the specific challenges and needs of the young entrepreneurs who constitute the highly heterogeneous group. 2, investing in comprehensive entrepreneurship programs that offer multiple services simultaneously. And 3, relocating resources away from ineffective programs, and this is very important, towards the most promising interventions and designing youth entrepreneurship programs. When we talk about ineffective programs, if you want change, you cannot continue doing what you are doing. You remain stationary. So you must embrace the risk of change. And if you have got a risk of change, there might be things you must stop doing to start doing the other things. If you try to do what you are doing, and with the new things you are doing with the change, I don't think you go very far. The other sector is on policy. Promoting youth entrepreneurship spirit through sharing of best practices, success stories, and role models, and the development of networks, or what in other areas we call communities of practice. Those people who do the same things. Those people are many. Each carries unique knowledge, but when they get together as practitioners in that practice area, those are the people we call who bring best practice together, and knowledge exchange facilitation. Therefore, the other point is integrating entrepreneurship education in formal schooling to provide young people with different sets of attitudes, competencies, including technical and non-cognitive life skills, as well as the acumen for entrepreneurship. You're aware that we are living in a generation, or we are at a generation where going for it is not going and sweating for it. Is everybody wants to go what they call raw fruits. And we are so many, and the raw fruits are so few, that what happens is when they get finished and you still want to get fruits, then you get lost and start doing things you are not supposed to do. And that is why, I don't know this, I have heard that one of the popular courses in universities, in our public universities, is something to do with procurement. I need not tell you why. Those courses get overcrowded because our youth are focusing on short-term, easy-to-get benefits. Simplifying administrative procedures is also critical. I think it was mentioned here of taxing, not tasking, taxing, where you are taxed at this level and taxed at another level. I think we have come from very far. We had a whole chain of licenses to start a business. So simplifying these procedures for business registration, encouraging formalization through the right mix of incentives and sanctions in order to support business expansion. Developing holistic and long-term vision to foster local and global value is critical. You know, we have tended in the past to associate entrepreneurship with manufacturing. And in fact, some of the strongest voices, you know, come from the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, industries, manufacturing, things, materials. But we are moving into another level. In fact, just to give you an example, maybe 10 or so years ago, the people who are making computers, they were talking of software, hardware, they were competing on the smallest and the most efficient. But what are we having today? Cloud computing. So they might have had huge factories to manufacture computers, and those are passing by. So we are moving to a zone where actual processing of materials and products is becoming less in the business space. So we are moving into the business of offering services. In other words, the goodness with this is you do business borderless. You know, it's business without borders. We have heard about doctors without borders. As it was mentioned here, you can do business with somebody in New York or anywhere in the world sitting in your sitting room, and the money you come in. This is where we are moving to. We have to use technology to be able to move to the next level. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, it is important to bear in mind that new business creation is essential for generating employment. I think we were told here by one of the speakers the thousands of jobs which are targeted because of certain intervention targeting the youth. Further, education and training are core factors for fostering entrepreneurship. Endowing graduate entrepreneurs with rational capacity development initiatives. I think it's today's paper, if I remember, I had a cursory look at the Nation or the Standard, and yesterday the Minister for Education was saying the future of the university cannot be guaranteed unless they become centers of entrepreneurship. And the other point is, you cannot teach entrepreneurship. You cannot teach entrepreneurship if you are not an entrepreneur. So for academia, for our laboratories, whatever it is, you must practice what you teach. So we must move the university as a body towards entrepreneurship in terms of training, in terms of moving into that sector. We need, I think the minister said, universities must be entrepreneurship centers or entrepreneurial universities, so that we domesticate or we develop our own entrepreneurship. Well, I'm not supposed to talk technical so much because the chairman of council is supposed to guide at policy level. So, but I hope that our university is going to pick some tips from this conference to sharpen our policies to face the challenges which are there in future, in terms of developing entrepreneurship, in terms of using platforms which are being created by this forum to develop strategies to achieve the mandate of this institution. How do we get key resources? How do we boost our financial kitty? And how do we get into business? Because we have to get into business to survive. I will like to be very brief and go into the area of the interaction between university experiences and entrepreneurial activities, open up an exciting research possibility that ultimately contributes to the conversation, to the ideas, of unleashing or unlocking potential for entrepreneurs. As I said earlier, transformative change being very critical. So ladies and gentlemen, as you go through this expo and conference, learn from the various exhibitors, because that's the way you get information. I think somebody said here, we have done great things. They were enumerated by our Vice Chancellor. We have done this, we have done this, we have these awards, etc., etc. It is not only us, but many institutions. They don't seem to value visibility. You know, they don't seem to value visibility. It's like wearing very, very nice clothes and getting a very beautiful hair and all those things, beautiful dress, beautiful suit, and then going somewhere in a corner, and you expect people to look for you to see what you are wearing, to look for you to know what you do. So we have to be aggressive, even entrepreneurs. If you don't put your markets on the wall, if you don't shout from the top of the hill, nobody is going to know about it. So we have to make ourselves visible, and there are many ways, particularly these days of ICT. Universities are ranked globally. There are some who are way low down compared to Machakos. But you know what? They say what they do. But we can do good things, and if we don't put them on the wall with the ICT, we won't realize this. So exhibition is the first level. Come and see physically what we have. Like I say, very soon, it is going to go away. You can get more information in 10 minutes, sitting with your laptop, that you can get walking around the exhibition. We are buying goods from the house sitting down. You know, Gigi Huat, Alibaba, you know, all these people. Things are delivered to your house. You don't even know the one who is selling it to you. You read, you say, you send the money by M-Pesa, and it's brought to you. The shop is also going to be obsolete in days to come. That's the reality we are living in. So the visibility of the exhibitors, let's make use of it. As Bruce Lee said, absorb what is useful, discard what is not, and add what is uniquely your own. Know the words. Add what is uniquely your own. That means you have to innovate, you have to discover your way. And for in the words of Will Durant, an American philosopher and historian, we are what we are, or we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act of habit. You are who you are because of what you do. And I would like to thank you for listening to me. Unajua mimi ni mwalimu, zamani za kale nilikuwa mwalimu. Sasa before we move to bring on board one of our strongest partners, which is the county government, I would like you to start, stretch, and then sit down. Let's start. Just start. Stretch. If you don't stretch, you don't have made use of that. You see, that's not an innovation. As it is entrepreneurship. Have your seat as I call upon the representative of the county government, Madam Sharon Mutua, to come to the podium. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
To the Chancellor, Mr. Moria, who I worked for in another life. To the Vice Chancellor, Professor Ogola, the Chair of the Council, Dr. Gakahu, the Unleash Africa Chair Lady, Honorable Dr. Musyoka, the CEO, Bwana Kioko, the CEO of the Chamber, Bwana Nyangweso, the Chair of MSEA, Bwana Mureu, the Court Representative, Madam Damboki, John Wanjohi, Kipora, and my Chief Officer for SMEs, Zipora, who is here today. Good afternoon. And Bwana Kitu, good afternoon. I would not like to, first of all, receive greetings from Her Excellency, the Governor, Honorable Ovinya Ndeti. She would have wanted to be here, but there's an activity that we're beginning countywide that was beginning today. We are actually supposed to be there, so we'll rush there after this. So receive her apology and her greetings. First of all, I would like to say that this has been a journey, Dr. Musyoka and Bwana Kioko. We've had numerous meetings in my office where we were trying to conceptualize this. Tukafika Kikomo from where I thought, and then they went to regroup, and when they came back, they came with this venue. And thank you, Professor, for always supporting initiatives within the county. And this is a very good initiative, and we are proud to have partnered and walked this journey with you. I will not say much because of time, it's far much spent, but I'd like to highlight a few issues. When I was here early in the year for the Innovation Week, and we spoke about the Ajiri Center and all of these other innovations that are coming up in the country. The Unleash African Economies is geared towards what Dr. Musyoka called the marginalized, and what Bwana Mureu has said, banking the unbanked. But at the end of the day, we have to be very careful about what it is that we're doing in nurturing this innovation so that we do not have very interesting buzzwords in boardrooms and conferences and seminars. And then after that, then what happens? Do we walk the journey with this entrepreneur? We have the chamber here who have constantly committed and demonstrated through their work how they work with the entrepreneurs. And so even as we continue to nurture these ideas and unleash these African entrepreneurs and all these wonderful things that we want to do for ourselves and for our communities, let us think down the road. Next year when we come for the second edition of the Unleash African Economies Seminar or Summit Conference, what success stories will we have to parade and say these are the people that we worked with for the past 1 year and this is where they are, and what mentorship opportunities do those people have for now the next cohort, so that it is a system that self-replenishes. That being said, we continue to look forward to work with the university, to work with all stakeholders, and we are here as an office and as a government. We are ready, we are very approachable. And Bwana Mureu, nipata ile shamba, I will be officially inviting you to come construct that work site. The greetings from Her Excellency once more, and as we continue with this conference, may we look always for the best interests of our people. My boss keeps telling me, Mundu atuta atungete musi. So whatever opportunities you find out there, bring for our people. The Bwana Nyangweso and the rest. We are very strong with the chamber in Machakos, and we are working closely with the chamber. So whatever you find nationally and internationally, turudishe nyumbani yote so that we grow our people. Thank you.
She's going to invite chief guest, the guest of honor. So, but we also appreciate her as she does that, so that we say, Mama, welcome. You have given us good wise wisdom and advice. So, do your next.
Thank you. At this point, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the chief guest for today and the chair of the Chancellor for the University, Bwana James Warrior. Karibu.
Thank you very much for that warm introduction. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. It is really a great honor for me to be here this morning and now till this afternoon for this important occasion of this International Trade Expo and conference that we are holding today. It's indeed appropriate that we should hold it because I remember when we had our first graduation in 2016, I was going back to my speech and the question that was asked is how relevant is our training to the needs of society? And to what extent can we produce graduates who will be able to have an impact in society? Our mentor then was here, Dr. Chris Kirubi. Why is it important? You know, 20 years ago, or let me take a step back, for universities when we were training students, because you train students for purpose, you train them so that they can have an impact, that knowledge can have an impact to society. The transmission mechanism before was through employment. So such an event would have been an employment fair. Would be having here a panel of employers. Those of you who are in University of Nairobi 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we never had such functions. Used to meet with Unilever, Barclays, KCB, Stanchart, the ones who are coming to employ our young people. Because that's the way the knowledge was transmitting to society. But today, that is not possible. If you look at the data, because at a university we should be data-driven, as Kenya we are producing 800,000 young people to the job market every year. 800,000. The formal jobs that we are creating, you want to guess, are only 100,000. So 700,000 people joining the labor force cannot be absorbed through employment, direct formal employment. The only way these people can be absorbed into the job market is through entrepreneurship. 7 out of 8. So last year we had 1,300 graduates. Probably only 300 were absorbed into the job market. And now here as a university we've taken 4 years to train these particular people. The way now they'll have an impact into society is through this kind of forum, to transmit them through entrepreneurship, which is why this is important. Now, a lot has been said about entrepreneurship and about what we need to do around entrepreneurship. Now, I had a written speech, but I want to modify it briefly because I'm an entrepreneur myself. So the way we think about, I wanted to make my speech in the context of the way we think about business. We must first start by thinking who has a problem that we can solve at a macro level. So if you look at us as Africa as a continent, and I like the topic, unleashing African economy. So I'm starting from the theme. Now, who has a problem that Africans can solve? If you look at the world today, the developed world, the one that we trade with, the problem they have is that they don't have enough people to work. Human capital, there's a labor shortage. The labor shortage is as a result of the population growth rate is now lower than death rate. So you're not replacing the population. They have a second problem. Because of a declining population, they are not keen on immigration, especially into Europe of non-Europeans. Yeah, the right-wing governments don't want people to immigrate into the economies. If you look at Africa as a continent, every other continent has a declining population except Africa, which in the next 10 years will produce 800 million additional workforce. So the workforce is in Africa. The human capital we have is in Africa, and that's what we are training. That's why we are here. And if you think about economies like Kenya, the only raw material we have, major resource we have is people. So the question then becomes, how do we connect our human capital to the opportunities that exist in the markets that are there? Because once you figure out where the problem is, then you start thinking out how do you solve it. To put it into context, this problem that exists, So that then as we discuss with the chamber and the rest, we can think about it. There was an article in the Financial Times of last month. And I just want to read for you some excerpts of that article. Italy has warned that a serious labor shortage is hindering the country's ability to implement projects worth billions of euros under the EU post-pandemic recovery program. In a report submitted to Parliament, the Italian government has warned that a shortage of skilled workers in construction, IT, and engineering, and a lack of competent administrators is causing delays and could jeopardize full implementation of the plan. Italy is the largest beneficiary of the bloc's 800 billion euro program and is slated to receive grants and loans worth up to 200 billion by 2026. The bank, with a rapidly aging population, Italy is suffering from pervasive labor shortages, with complaints from employers of a struggle to fill around 40% of vacancies because of a dearth of qualified candidates. The situation is expected to worsen over the next 3 years, when Eurostat estimates that Italy's working population will shrink by about 630,000 people, as the number of people hitting retirement age exceeds the number of new entrants into the labor market. The Bank of Italy has urged the government to create a priority channel to attract skilled workers from abroad to quickly boost the recovery plan. However, Giorgia Meloni's right-wing coalition is ambivalent about allowing non-Europeans migrant workers to fill gaps in the labor market, and is instead cutting social welfare and increasing the retirement age so those who have retired can go back to work. So that is the problem. What is the opportunity? We were discussing with my colleagues here. And you know, for a long time, we were the ones who are young saying, we are the leaders of tomorrow. Then now you realize now you are the leader. You are the leader. And now we have young people there. We have to sell hope to young people. We can't tell them the economy is doing badly. We must, it's our responsibility as leaders to identify where the opportunities are and to connect our young people to those opportunities. The role of leaders is to see beyond what exists today, to cast new frontiers for our society, to move society forward. That's the role of leaders. And society is changing. The world is changing. The role of leadership is to change society as it adopts. It's not to follow. You know, people say the ground is saying no. The role of leaders is to see and to sell a better future or a different future from the one that is there today. The opportunities for us are for Africa to trade with the rest of the world in the commodity that we have, because you cannot trade in a commodity you don't have. The commodity that Africa has is human capital. And the role of universities to train that human capital so that we can serve the rest of the world. It is not enough for us to trade with Africa. Why? Let's go back to the data. Africa, all of us combined 54. We only account for less than 3% of global trade. 3%. Okay? And you cannot trade with somebody who has the same goods you have. Even in our traditional culture of barter trade, you used to trade with a different community to give you a product you don't have. So all of us in Africa, what we have in surplus is human beings. Trade, maybe not trade, but we have human beings in surplus. Now we must trade with the rest of the world. Okay? That's number one. Number two, we are fortunate now, is digitization. Africa has been a net supplier of labor to the rest of the world for the last 1,000 years. First through slave trade, we used to take our people there, we were taken here. Some of us were middlemen, we were selling ourselves, migrating them, taking them there. We've had export of people through now to send us back remittances. But you must think to yourself, what is better to have? Is it better to have those people working here and paying taxes, or is it better for them to go and send remittances? Fortunately now with technology, people can work in Africa and provide services globally. This is something that has happened rapidly post-COVID. And our role as centers of excellence and leaders is to adopt quickly. The species that survives is not the strongest or the fastest, it's the one that is able to adopt the fastest to a changing environment. Yeah? And leadership, the role of leadership is to help society catalyze that process of adaptation. So the second myth I wanted to eliminate is that the economy is doing badly. Well, let's speak for ourselves. The global economy is not doing badly. They're actually doing so well that they are facing problems of inflation. Inflation happens in situations where there's rapid economic growth and full employment. So what they're trying to do is to take up interest rates to slow down the growth in the economy so that they can contain their prices. Why they have struggled for the last 1 year is because they're at full employment. So what then they are forced to do is they are forced to increase wages, because otherwise you lose the little workers you have. Because we've been dependent on foreign capital, here we've been forced also to increase our interest rates, not because we are battling from an overheating economy, but so that we can protect our currency. You see? And in increasing those interest rates, this economy is slowing down further. We are doing badly because we are not fully integrated to the global economy. To supply them with human capital in the form of services. Because once you identify the problem, yeah, then you have a theoretical framework. Those who teach economics, Porter's the 4 P's. What product? Product is what solution do you have? The solution we have is the export of services in the form of human capital. Whether it's in ICT, whether it's in finance, whether it is in technology, whether it's in those engineering services that we offer, can those jobs be done here and exported to the rest of the world? That's a product that we have. And that's our role as universities now. Is as we train these people, it is not enough for us to train and not also train them the transmission mechanism with which they will be able to sell their skills. That's why we were discussing earlier, are we teaching our young people entrepreneurship from first year? Not just entrepreneurship to go and sell mandazis in the streets of Machakos, so that then they can sell their engineering services to the rest of the world as they armed with the skills. And if we don't do so, we are not going to have fulfilled our mission of impacting our communities, because our communities now are beyond Machakos County. Our graduates are required all over the world. And the integration with the chambers. So then when we go for those trade missions, we are not talking about the problems of our society. I get frustrated when we go out there and leaders are speaking about what we can do for them and how great we are. Then we use a platform to speak about our problems. Let us speak about their problems and how we can be providers of those solutions. And that area of services, there are 4 areas of services. There is public services, these are teachers, nurses, these are in the public sector. There are low-skilled, non-tradable domestic services, border riders, nurses, no, not nurses, border riders, kinyosis, and the rest. Those are the ones that government is working to see that they can emigrate. But the most attractive category is what are called global innovator services. In ICT, research, technology, fintech, and that area is required all over the world. And that's a product. What is the opportunity? The second P is around promotion. What is the opportunity? The Kenya government recently completed a trade agreement with the UK. We also signed a trade agreement with the EU. At the end of this year, which is why Meg Whitman was speaking about it, we are targeting to have completed the strategic trade and investment partnership with the US. So now you have the United States of America, the United Kingdom, and the European Union, and you can access those markets from Kenya. Those agreements are not being signed for us to sell the traditional products. Because we must also think, what product is this we are going to sell as we clap for our leaders as they sign agreements? See? And sometimes we ask too much of our political leaders, because once somebody has opened for you, they don't have to come now and start explaining to you one by one, this is what it means. What it means for us is that now you can engage with the Italians, with the French. Recently you saw the riots in France. The riots in France were orchestrated by immigrants from Algeria. So do you think they'll be giving more work permits for immigrants? They have no incentive, isn't it? But if you're going there and saying your companies can outsource their services to Kenya, and we have hubs here, and people here, and you're also dealing with a problem of inflation, meaning we have high wages, and we can offer you those services here cheaper, they will come and set up here under those trade agreements. And I'm happy to see James here, because majority of enterprises in global innovation services are actually MSMEs. These are companies that employ less than 10 people. So you don't need, because there are no benefits to scale when you're at that level. What is important is the knowledge. So the promotion is in place. Remember, we are here as leaders to sell hope. Yeah? Because words have power. And the tongue, especially from the leaders, has a power to create or destroy. So we've established that there's a market. We've established actually what the market is facing is that they don't have enough people to work. We've established we have the people. We have also established that now we have the trade agreements. And Kenya is probably one of the few countries in Africa to have secured all these trade agreements. We are also lucky in Africa to have one of the best quality human capital in the world. It's not enough to have knowledge. Attitude, the attitude of our workers, the attitude of our young people is second to none. We have one of the most advanced digital platform in Africa, if not the world. We have one of the best financial system architecture. We are globally competitive in all those, areas. Then somebody might ask, what about the operating environment? Yeah, because here we are complaining about all these things. And yesterday I was speaking to my colleague, the CEO of the Nairobi Securities Exchange, and I was telling him, Jeff, sometimes we ask for incentives that are already there. And I'm happy to see our colleagues from Konza and EPZ. If you go to the special economic zones, all these incentives to make you globally competitive are there. It's exempted from value-added tax. Whatever you bring into a special economic zone is exempted from customs duty. It's from railway development levy. So if you're bringing servers or computers or bringing services, you have all those exemptions. In this Finance Act, if you bring capital into a special economic zone in the form of investment from an unresident, he picks only one or two sections, but he forgets everything else that can be beneficial to society. And that's our role as scholars. It is to read, it is to understand, it is to communicate what is Two Rivers International Finance and Innovation Center. If you come there and get an order from a big company in the EU or wherever, I will take it as my personal responsibility if you don't have working capital to go and engage with our banks to get your money. If you speak to all these banks, they have a lot of lines in dollars and in euros that are not drawn down because people are not exporting there. And Kenya has been a net exporter, so you're already in an area that is. Finally, we have an obligation to partner. You cannot do this alone. So universities, because they're the ones who are producing the students, providing them with the relevant knowledge and skills, the trade associations like Chamber of Commerce, the county governments, all of us as a leadership, we have an obligation to collectively work together so that when you go for those missions, you have a product to sell. Because you can go for a mission, you ask, okay, what has brought you here? What is it that you can offer that we don't have? You don't have. But what is critical, we have something very valuable and irreplaceable and that cannot be innovated around. We have the human beings. We have human capital. And they're not likely to have human capital for a long time. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to conclude my remarks there. I wish you all the best and all the success in this innovation forum. May many great ideas come out of this forum. May many successful enterprises arise out of this particular forum. I would like to thank our partners. Let us continue working together on this journey. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Probably before I
declare the conference officially open. 2020 officially.
Thank you very much. Yes, now officially declared is Expo open, and we're grateful for the words of Islam has given us. To just remember that style of clapping, and then I'll give you a brief outline of what's going to happen after this. Nyayo! Nyayo! Digital. Nyayo! Digital. Parliament. You can see just like we are renovating also. Well, from here, the guests are going to have a brief tour of the stands that are out there. They'll be guided. And then the rest of us, we are going to go for lunch, to have a lunch break. And then, immediately after lunch, at 2 o'clock, we'll come back here for the plenary session that has been scheduled to happen before lunch. We shall have only 1 hour of plenary. And in the plenary, we are expecting sharing of successful stories. Konza City will be here, Kenya Airways will be here, EPZA will be here, the anti-counterfeit will be here, the UTS will be here, telling us where they have succeeded and why they did. Hello? So that we can learn something about how to survive under challenges. So the plenary will be very useful for us to gain some ideas and experience from those who have succeeded, benchmarking, and then we now move to the workshops immediately after that. So 1 hour of plenary, and then we shall have the workshops breaking into different rooms. We shall explain where, and then the day will continue like that. At the very end of the day, those of us who will still be around, there will be a small cocktail for people to know each other and share ideas. And as we move out to go and tour the stands, there will be a brief photo session at the front of this hotel so that we can also have a lasting memory of this event. Yeah, thank you very much. Maybe I can ask Pastor who prayed for us at the beginning, just to also give a word of prayer to the Lord so that we remember these questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Let us stand for our word of prayer. Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you, we honor you. We began with you, and Lord, you take us through every session, every step. We thank you for everyone that has spoken, mighty Father, in this forum. We thank you, Lord, because of the words that we have heard, King of all glory, were inspired of you. We thank you, because mighty Father, King of all glory, You're taking us to a better level than where we are now, Lord. We thank you because your Holy Spirit is behind everything about God. Forgive us a good success as a university, as a county, as a country, King of all glory, and even globally. We honor you, we thank you, in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Let the guests leave and then we can leave. So that, yes. Very small, see some, but we are not. Say something. On this one, nikule kwa hotel, lakini sio kila we have prepared a place for the Konza. Yeah, it is the session coming. Keynote address. Yes. They are plenary. Keynote speakers. Yeah, they are coming. It is still on. Yeah, it's still on. Then the plenary will follow.
Good. All right.
Yeah, because we have we killed the time for the speaker. But the plenary is supposed to react on the speeches.
So you wanted to talk.
Okay. So we will start with that after lunch, and then we give Nyangweso a second chance, and then now the plenary. Yeah. So we are okay.
Fine.
Yeah. Santi, mmejaribu. Tulikuwa panic, lakini sasa naona kama tunaweza.
So imeisha sasa?
No. Oh, yeah, to transmit nini, zile zingine we can record and then replay, isn't it? Send it. People can record and then replay. Ama?
Sure.
Instead of streaming. And remember the afternoon, these guys from South Africa will be here by 4, so I think they will feature mostly tomorrow.
Yeah.
Zimbabwe, or is it Zimbabwe? Yeah. Yeah. Hey, they had promised.
I think we took. I saw them bringing the cups.
And then the choir. Let me find out when you buy out so that you see where.
Sasa huyu hapo nje na kuna transmission unaona.
How are you? Hey. Yeah, send you yes. Oh, yeah, you have seen it. I've seen it, I've seen it. Sasa, hata kama principal hatujaongea, si ana hope Friday
lazima kwanza audio. Hata audio amkuwa mmeweka niliweka hapo. Ndio hii hapo unaona.